ages.
Willis Reed walks out onto the garden floor.
For more great sports moments like these, be sure to tune in to all of our fantastic sports shows.
From the Press Box with Rob and Tim Leonard, Monday mornings at 10.
The Home Stretch with Anthony Tartamella and the WHPC sports staff, Tuesday evenings at 9.
Sports Talk with Chris Muldoon and the WHPC sports staff, Thursday evenings at 9.
And Beyond the Game with Jacob Valk, Brandon Johnson, and the WHPC sports staff, Friday afternoons at 3.
All of these excellent shows and more are on the voice of Nassau Community College.
90.3 WHPC.
WHPC HD.
Garden City.
You're tuned into Long Island's only FM sports voice. This is Sports Talk on 90.3 WHPC.
All right, sports fans, bringing you back into the second hour. We are right here on 90.3 WHBC. The show to which you are tuned in is called Sports Talk, here every Thursday evening, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. My name is Chris Muldoon. I've got Mark Tokowski, Tristan Hamilton, KJ Brooks, and we're joined by Richie from Shirley, the heavy-breathing Richie from Shirley. Because we're talking about obscene contracts, so he's an obscene caller, I guess. Hey, Richie. So,
I got a question now.
Okay.
What happened to the Lizards? They don't play no more at the hospital?
The signs are still up there. That's the Long Island Lizards lacrosse team. The signs are still up there. And you know who owns them, right?
Oh.
Jake Steinfeld. If you know the Body by Jake, the bodybuilder, he grew up here. I think he grew up in the Five Towns. But you know who his niece is?
Oh.
Haley Steinfeld. You know, she was an actress, very pretty singer. She's out today. Whatever you kids are listening to.
She sings that song. I know we play a lot of our songs here.
She had a number one song, or two. So yeah, she's. But she was a child actress.
Zed.
Now she's
a song with Zed.
Now, yeah, that's right. Now she's a singer. So.
But you know what's funny? You don't see nothing advertised in the paper.
No.
For them, I don't know if they even play anymore.
There's a guy. He was a star at Hofstra. He now runs It's a lacrosse camp here on Long Island. He's like 37, 38 years old. It's a 91. If you ever drive by on cars, you'll see like a figure of a lacrosse player with 91 on it, because that was his number at Hofstra and with the Lizards. He was with them, and I know his wife is best friends with my neighbor across the street because she played lacrosse at Hofstra with her. And Simon is the head women's soccer coach at my neighbor at Hofstra. So I'll ask them if they're still playing, because they would go to all the Lizards games. So I'll find out.
We can ask last year. It was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty good.
Yeah. All right, Rich. We'll let you go, and we'll talk soon.
Oh, listen. I have one question for you.
Yeah, sure.
You know, Massapequa is playing on Saturday against Ward Middlefield.
Oh.
Championship.
Oh, very good.
Did you know that?
No. Well, though I live in Massapequa Park, I'm in the Farmingdale School District.
Oh, you are?
So I root for the Dalers when it comes to lacrosse. And that's funny because you can literally live across the street, Farmingdale School District across Massapequa School District. And about 5 years ago, it was the girls. It was Farmingdale High School against Massapequa in the championship. And I remember the girl from it was like let's say 11-10. The girl from Farmingdale won. She scored the winning goal. And the coach was like, their parents had to pick between two houses directly across. They're both for sale across from each other. One was Massapequa Schools, one was Farmingdale. And the parents chose the Farmingdale one. And the coach was like, thank God for that, because there was a difference in the game. So,
all right,
you got it. So, our parents do. So, there goes Rich from Shirley from Dan and Bethpage. This is Sports Talk every Thursday evening, 9 to 11, right here on 90.3 WHPC and WHPC HG. We thank you for lending us yours. I'm Chris. He's Mark. He's Tristan. He's KJ. And what is the score in the Cavaliers?
Warriors up by 10.
Warriors up by 10. So
they're really.
When your kids say where they're from, do they say they're from Massapequa Park, or do they say they're from Farmingdale?
No, they're Massapequa Park. Yeah,
because it's like weird.
Some people go by which is so odd because I'm paying $1,200 in Incorporated Village, Massapequa Park, Texas. Yeah. So I say that. No, we always thought it didn't matter to me because our kids were always going to Catholic school. Then things change when kids have issues and problems, and you need certain services at the public school with my older son. So we stayed there. But for me, I was always like, I grew up in Williston Park, and the Mineola School District was the quote-unquote less vaunted of the Herricks, which was across the street. But I went to Chaminade and St. Aidin, so it didn't really matter to me. But
like there's people who live in Plainview postal code, but they went to Bethpage.
Right.
But they say they're from Bethpage.
Right. Yeah. No. It's a lot of people go by, and it's really weird because I grew up in the incorporated village of Woolston Park, where my dad was mayor, 94 to 98. Check out the park named after him on Hillside Avenue. And Woolston Park has its own library, its own fire department, its own water. It doesn't matter what school district you're in. Whether Harrison, Mineola, you got the same service. It's got its own pool. But in Massapequa Park, the library goes by your school district. So I can't go to the Massapequa Library. I mean, you can with the interlibrary exchange, but we have to go to the Farmingdale Library. And it's Massapequa Water, and then the fire service is Massapequa Fire, but some people have North Massapequa Fire over here. Some have South Farmingdale Fire over there, all living. It gets really crazy on the South Shore.
Did you get a new commissioner over there?
Yeah, there will be a new water commissioner.
Is there a special election, or is there?
I don't know, because that guy Hand has become a new councilman from Town of Oyster Bay. 516-572-7440. 516-572-7440. A reminder, at some point during this hour, and I won't tell you when until we do it, we'll be giving away tickets to see the Long Island Ducks.
Can't be any other hour.
Play at, it's got to be this hour, playing at Bethpage Ballpark, which I had said I had never been to a Ducks game before this year. Now I've been to two, and I could have gone on Saturday as well because I had the tickets for that. I went Friday night, and then I went Saturday. I had it was interesting. I had my neighbor give me what they call VIP tickets for Friday and Saturday, and I went Friday. The VIP allowed me into the restaurant, but its VIP did not pay for the restaurant. So I got in this. Yeah, I got it. It's like Shea Stadium started with the Diamond Club. Yeah, you go in, but you're buying the food. And but Bethpage Ballpark.
At least in Miami, like for the Dolphins,
parking's free.
All you can eat buffet. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah.
And not a bad seat in the house. I mean, it's
been
just
to the Dolphin Stadium before.
Yeah,
and so you go in and it's an all-you-eat buffet in the stadium.
Yeah, it's like
the new one.
It was like a box. It was like a box.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, when you go to a box, you can do. I mean, the same thing with the. I mean, there's even boxes.
What
at the Ducks game
classifies
too.
as a box seat?
Well, we're talking. There's suites, I guess.
Okay.
Box seat would be, on the level closest to the playing field. That's box seats.
Wait, no, because someone says.
Then there's a box, which is like suites.
Promenade box, or.
Well, there are boxes in various other sections.
Yeah, that's
like
what
you could
I'm
have, I'm going by what Shea Stadium used to have. You could have a box in the mezzanine. You could have a box in the loge. It just means box generally meant like four seats together in like a square or however, or whatever
I thought
they
it meant
were.
like a security guard was there too. Like
No.
the section.
No, well, they usually put security guards on every row, basically, to walkway, and also or an usher, because that's always the hardest thing. Where I had to explain to my son the other day. I'm like, hey, I had given him money, and I'm like, hey, I need 2 singles. He's like, what do you need 2 singles? I said, because I'm going to have to tip the usher. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, that's what you got to do.
You tip the usher at the baseball game?
I tip everybody. No, the answer is, in the end, I didn't have to tip him. This is why. This was very interesting insight into a world that I knew nothing about as a kid, but is very prevalent today. In that, I was with one of my son's friends. We took him because they were having a sleepover at my son's friend's house. So we took him to the game as a precursor from sleeping over at his friend Owen's house, and I'm walking down the aisle, and it was weird because we had seats for row G, but it was the third row behind the visitor dugout at Bethpage Ballpark. And I'm like, how is row G third row? Because behind home plate starts A through F. It will start so A through D would have been where the dugout is, and then F, E, F, G was where I was. Owen has a peanut allergy. So I'm walking down to where you'd walk down the aisle, and all of a sudden Owen stops dead in his tracks. And I said, what's the matter? He said, I can't go there. So what do you mean? And I've had peanut allergy. And right at the man who was sitting at the end of the aisle, he had eaten a whole bag of peanuts. And he had thrown every single shell down by his feet. So I was like, whoa, okay. So I didn't go down that way. I went the other way. And then I had Owen sit in the furthest seat from, where the peanuts were. So everything worked out fine. But he stopped dead. And I just, stand-up comedians joke about that. In my day, we didn't have peanut allergies. No, this is a very real thing for this kid. He has an EpiPen and all that kind of stuff. So it was really an eye-opening moment for myself, and especially things you have to consider. I see people and smell people eating peanuts on the railroad all the time. And I'm thinking, well, if we've got these kids with allergies today, they're going to be grown-ups soon enough. So being in a metal tin can trapped as a claustrophobic little thing. That's not a good thing. So I bet there's going to have to be
eventually.
Yeah, something like that. 516-572-7440. 516-572-7440. That's the number to call, your two-way sports talk connection. Would love to hear what's on your mind out there in Radio Land. 516-572-7440. So how was the Mets game? Mark Tukowski was at the Mets game today. What time did it start?
1:10.
Which generally, well, I think like noon, they call it like camp day. It wasn't camp day today. Kids are still in school,
day.
Obviously. Yeah. Was it school day today?
Yeah.
Did they have I know.
Oh, yeah, I was there today.
Oh, you were there today too? You went to the Mets game as well today? What happened there?
My little brother had a field trip.
Oh.
And I was there as a chaperone.
Did they put anything like a guise of science or anything? Or it was just strictly going to a game? The reason I ask is because my son's freshman in high school this year. I think when he was in 7th grade or 6th grade, WPAX 11, Dr. G, or Mr. G rather, and Linda Church, they sponsored a quote unquote, I'm doing air quotes here on the radio, a science day at Citi Field. And lots of schools were there, and they did a little science dog and pony show up on the screen or whatever, but it really was just an excuse to go to a Mets game. That's all it was. And they sat up in the Pepsi porch and all that stuff. So how was so you were the chaperone? How was it? Did you take a yellow bus? What kind of bus did you take?
Well, what's the name? How it worked was there was only a limited amount of seats on a bus, so we drove. My dad and I drove.
Okay.
And basically, you get to I wouldn't say I was a chaperone, but yes and no, because you get to
be with them.
You get to be with them, but you get to leave when you want. So I left in the 5th inning. I was just I didn't
you're one of
there.
those guys.
Well,
first of all, I'm a Yankee fan. I didn't want to be there to begin with.
Yeah.
This is the big question. Did you wear that sweater to the trip?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
To our listeners, as we said earlier on, he's wearing a Yankee
those
sweatshirt.
Teachers sent you home if you was.
That's blasphemy.
Well, I do.
Look at you using big words. You using that in your civil rights bus moments.
Well, but it's interesting to say that because I was a chaperone. My younger son had a trip to Lincoln Center with the band orchestra a few months back, and some mother wanted to leave and make a day of it in the city. Like, I'm going to take my kid now. We're going to go, eat dinner or whatever in the city. And New York State law says, no. When you're a chaperone on a field trip, you have to go back from where you came. You came with the kid. You have to go back. You cannot leave. Okay, you took the bus in, you're taking the bus home. It has to be that way. You can't make a day of it.
We had one of those trips to the Bronx Zoo, and how when every group there's always the meanest person in the group. Well, that day the meanest person in the group got bird poop on them.
So it was.
So you always have fun with these city field trips. There's always something.
I was expecting to see you have a sunburned face going to the game.
I like to sit in the shade.
Okay, because it was a warm day today. It was
Caesars Club.
I mean, I guess now that we've turned a new leaf with it being June 1st, that it's not May anymore. I think May had 23 days of rain, some crazy number of days of rain, but it just rained all the time.
I'll be honest with you. This is the latest I've gone to a Met game.
As your first game?
Since 2008, where I didn't go to any Met games in 2000. The last year of Shea Stadium, I didn't go to one game.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Today is June 1st.
June 1st.
Yeah. 5 years ago today, the Mets got their
quote unquote no hitter, where the foul line moved in.
You know what? We're 1 month away from something. You know what that is?
July.
Bobby Bonilla Day. July 1st.
Oh, where he gets his paycheck. Yeah. I mean, in perpetuity, essentially, to 2024 gets. They're paying the Mets are paying Bobby Bonilla more than they're paying Noah Syndergaard.
Yes.
Hello, Call. You are on Sports Talk.
Hello, Chris.
Hello, Dave from Franklin Square. How are you, my friend?
Franklin Square on all points, north and east.
There you go.
The thing with Pryor is if the Jets had kept Pryor and released him, it would have accounted $1.3 million against their cap. The gentleman they traded for, if they cut him, it counts nothing against their cap.
Mm-hmm. Well, so it's, the Cleveland Browns are now run by Moneyball, right? That's Paul DePodesta's there. Right. And so I wonder if he pitched that deal to the Jets saying, hey, look, if you do this, this happens. And it's, it's no skin off your nose. And we get a guy who can contribute to us.
Maybe he pulled some strings. Maybe from being at the Mets, they know somebody at the Jets.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but also, when you think about it, if you're a a team, like you said, with money, you can actually start poaching guys that have bad press over the years. I mean, Calvin Pryor really never, I shouldn't say extended, but showed what he was capable of. That's the best way of saying it. But, if you got a good DB coach or if you got a linebacker that's lacking and, you have a good linebacking coach,